you go. Welcome in, everybody. Try to get you guys situated just a little bit better. Zoomed in just a little bit. And we can see what we've got going on today now, can't we? Let's do it. All right. Just like this and that. Over here. You guys. Oh, there we go. Oh, geez, that's a little dark, isn't it? Hello. Hello. There we go, guys. We're trying to get it figured out over here. There we go. Excellent. Excellent, excellent, excellent. You guys. Okay, so as you can see so far, what we've done with our 18 by 24 inch canvas, right? It's 18 inches by 24 inches. And the only thing that I've put on the canvas so far is our crimson oil paint from Mead, right? We have our 8-inch by 2-inch cake pan like that, and then a 12-inch round circle, just like shows. We're going to place in a double portal on our 18 by 24 canvas. So you have to lay out the undercolors where you want them to be, right? If you don't have them out here and have them be bright, they're not going to interact with the white color that we then put on there, right? We're going to come a little bit on the inside of that circle, just so we can make sure it's all there. Now, what would you use? Would you use blue or would you use purple? Or maybe you might use both, right? We're going to come into blue on our guy up here. Throw a little bit of our blue, just kind of depositing it and pushing it up that way in every place that's not crimson, at least on this top portion and the right-hand side, right? We'll streak it out like that. So that way, there is a little bit of overlap, and we can blend those areas a little bit, right? That way they're not just a pure line of color, but as long as you have some form of color on your canvas, okay? Throw our blue down here too, just so we'll have a bluey side and then a purpley side. That's the old purpley side. Out there, blend it into our little crimson a little bit on both sides. There we go, there we go. Now, on this side, even onto the same brush, we go into the dioxazine purple and our crimson, right, into the purple, because the crimson's gonna make it much more purplier. Oh, I like this color, guys. That's gonna be gorgeous. Right, that little purpleness around. We're leaving it very dark on the inside. There's not a whole lot of color in there yet, as you can see. A little bit more of our purple in here. We're gonna mix it in with that crimson area. A little more touch of it in here. There we go. Just however we want it to be, literally. Right? Just throw some colors out there. We got this very deep, dark interior. Now, that interior also needs some color. So let's go back up here into our bluey bit. Just kind of pull down and then brush back and forth so we can see the blue is on there. And let's get the top half of this guy blue. Right, then we'll do the bottom half purple. Then we'll do the top half purple and the bottom side blue on this guy. So blue over here. And we're going to take our last bit of brush, filling it in, right in there in the center with our purpley area. So we should have 3 different colors. And as long as we don't mix them all together too much, they should stand out a little bit differently when we go to brighten up these guys, right? Now, let's go wash off this brush because it's just filthy now. You guys got to tell me where you're watching from. What time is it where you are right now? Tell me across the world. What time is it where you guys are? Right now out there, man. Just out there in the world, baby. What time is it? Probably the easiest question you're going to answer all day. What time is it where you are right now? Tell me where you guys are. Where are you at around this world? Let's see. Where are we? We've got 8 p.m. I'm 5 p.m. over here, guys. 8:05 in Georgia. Kathy's watching over on YouTube. Guys, remember on YouTube, if you're watching, just give me a thumbs up. Just one thumbs up. Click it. That's it. All you got to do on YouTube. One thumbs up. Bang. And then you can get up on out of here when you feel like it without having to feel like you forgot anything. Okay? Now, let's grab our double portals. And as you can see, as long as we place them, and then we go across them in white, it's going to interact with all of those colors exactly how we had planned, right? Now, this is just a cake base. You can get these from Michael's in a pack of 8 for like $8, right? This is a cake pan, which you can get from the Dollar Tree for real light, right? Now, it helps, Josh, if you actually have everything ready to go before you do this part. So let's take these down. We got to get some brushes ready to go, right? Everything has to be within reach when you're doing a portal painting because you don't want to not being able to reach an inch. We're going to take our 2-inch brush, we're going to put it right down here, or you can use your 1-inch brush. Hello. Sliding all over the place, right? It's going to be right down there. And then we're going to have our bit of our white paint. Now, when you're doing a portal painting, you want a fair amount of paint because we're going around a lot of surface and it's going to get darker as we go. Right, so let's load our brush, put that right down there on the palette so it's easily reachable. Let's line these guys back up again, exactly where we want them to be. There is what I believe it was. It's about equal distance, pretty much in the center. Right? We don't want them vertically like that. We want it to look like BB-8. Now, we'll come over here with our white. I like to get all the way down here first and then go around. Now, we're using equal pressure all the way around. Right, turn our brush. We got nice fresh paint. Goes all around into the pink, into the purple. Don't move once you get it up there. Don't move it. Right, down around here, around the edge, meeting right back where we were before, right, without even having to do a thing. Okay. Now we want to take a few of these little spaces and just give it a little bit extra paint just to drag out before we hit it with our big old brush. Maybe there's a bigger, longer streak down here. Who knows? Right? Just enough for us to pull out. Now what we're painting is an eclipse. Right? We have all this paint up here. Scooch, please. We can actually let that go. There we go. Now he's out of the way. We'll drag this bit out. Maybe it streaks up here in the top a little bit more. Maybe over here not so much. Maybe over here a bit more. Maybe over here not so much. Right? However you want it to look. Now, while you have your little guy in here, let's come up with our 2-inch brush. Let's drag that color outward, spreading it, making it a little softer. Just a little aura that's around our eclipse, right? Dragging it out all the way around, all the way around, all the way around. Oh, look at that guy, right? He's amazing, you guys. Now, you can always go back in and put him right back where you wanted to. If you wanted to go in and give our indication of our bottom line that's in there, just for our own brains, so we'll be able to tell where our waterfall needs to fall outwards, right? Now, same thing, you can go back in here with your bigger guy and put him right back where he was before. Just like that, right? Then we'll come out here, drag it, drag it, drag it, make it softer. Softer, 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 right? About as straight as we can get it. As much paint on the brush as you can grab on from that little space and you drag it out. Bam! You got this wicked, crazy aura from around your little circle. Very cool. Very neat. 2 crisscross eclipses happening in there. Now, let's get over here. And we can put our little cake pans away because we're not gonna need those guys anymore. Look at those colors, though. You guys, look at those colors. All right, now remember we put the blue and the purple, and then the purple and the blue underneath. So all we need to do is interact a bit with our white paint, just like this. Small little amount, and then you can always wipe off the excess down here. See what I mean? Like we don't need it to be so crazy. If we just wipe off the excess paint down here. Now it's not so much on our palette, right? Everybody see that? You see how there's not so much there? That way, when we go interact, it's going to be amazing, right? So, take our white paint, get up here and start pushing on it. And because there's that pink and then the bluey bit with the purpley bits, we'll get these different colors in our clouds out there. All we got to do is take a 1-inch brush and we'll start to mix it. And as we mix it down, it starts to blend, right? We don't want it to all look exactly the same, so we don't blend it all the same. We let it sit out there and pop in different areas, right? You go above your clouds, you go below your clouds, you go every which way that you want. And then you straighten, flatten it off at the bottom. Do not go outside of your portal until you get to your foreground. It's a rule that we have, right? You have to stay inside the portal if we want everything to look correct, until we get to the front, of course. Look at those little clouds out there. Did you think it was that easy? Toss some little clouds out there in the night. Just in the night. In the night. So we took our black canvas. If you're just joining, right? Let me back up. If you're just joining in, took our 18 by 24-inch canvas, which was already black, right? Then we put liquid clear on that canvas, or linseed oil, right? Covered it like that. Then we covered it in crimson and blue and purple in these different places where you see the different colors. It's because there is different color there, right? There's a different color underneath each one of these guys. And that way it lights up differently when we hit it with our white paint. Get all these cool little auras around there. Same reason why if we came in here and popped a little bit more white, came down and added just another little touch of cloud, maybe that guy comes up a little higher. Just on the one side. Right? A little bit more of a mush is going to blend down and be a bit brighter white, which will make it look like this cloud is in front of that cloud, as long as we don't let them connect, right? Not every cloud out there has to be touching or part of every other bit of cloud, right? Now, we can do the exact same thing down underneath, right? But let's do a little bit of a crazier guy. We'll come up in here, just change this whole shape up, bang, right there. Big bunch of nothingness, or everythingness, right? Now, you can see where I put on that extra touch of paint. That area will be brighter than all of the others. And we're trying not to get outside of our portal, remember. Don't need to go too much further than that right there, right? Little mess, a little bit of a cloud in the night. Now, let's get down and start throwing in a little river into this little guy, right? Maybe this guy's got a little river. So we'll come in here, drag down just a little bit of paint. Again, all we're using is that white. Every other bit of color we already put down, from the blue, the crimson, to the purple. 3 colors, that's it, right? Light everything else up. Let's come from back here, and let's start dragging it out this way. Very sideways, gonna get a little bit bigger and bigger and bigger as it gets towards us. Very much like a sidewalk. Looks like a sidewalk you could walk down, doesn't it? Let's go take a stroll out on the sidewalk out there. Little bit. Very cool. Looks like something is coming towards us, right? Because it's very small, and then it gets very large as it gets towards the front. Now, let's grab the old Paint with Josh 1-inch brush. Guys, I have an update. Got an update from the manufacturer on the Paint with Josh brushes. They say, January. Expect Paint with Josh brushes in January. Always go back and forth over those guys to make them a little softer if you didn't like them like that. Just fantabulous, my friends. Now, let's come in here and we'll pick a color for our grass. Let's get a little pinky in your grass right up here. Just a little pinky up your grass, all the way up. Over there, a little bit of white, a little bit of our crimson. Right, tapping it in, just until we like the color. Grab that white, drag it back over here. Dabbing it, getting on to all the ends of the bristles of the brush. Right, man, what if we had this little thing come down? A little line in the darkness, right? Right underneath that guy, gonna pop the same line. Right underneath him, gonna pop the same line. Go back underneath him, same line. Underneath. Each time it's smaller, right? We're working our way out, dragging towards our, not even dragging, but tapping in, right? Towards our little river, but leaving what? What have we left in between the grass and the river? Anybody know out there? Anybody? What have we left, guys? And right now, we're about to go mix up some of our Paint with Josh plaque mix. So you're going to have to tell me if you know the Paint with Josh plaque mix. Let me know right now. Right? Remember, this painting is available. It's over on paintwithjosh.com. That's where I have all of my paintings listed. Right? There's all sorts of prints. There's posters. There's puzzles. So if you don't like, or if you're not in the market for paintings, or it's out of your price range, I feel you. I'm right there with you. There's lots of other stuff you can get over there on paintwithjosh.com. Right? Now we're going to mix up our dark color, which is a mixture of 3 deep dark colors that we call Paint with Josh plaque. Right? No, not the plaque. That's different. Different spelling. P-L-A-C-K. Plaque. And that is going to stand out in contrast against all of that darkness. The darkness out there. Oh, just so happened I picked up a Paint with Bram fan brush. Let's use this guy. Anybody out there have the Paint with Bram set? I had the very first set when Paint Bram came out, and then he had a bushy brush come out, and I don't have that guy, and I feel left out. All right, we're going to take the Paint with Bram fan brush, and let's go right back here. Little guy, just like that. Little guy popping down into our grass, up into the clouds, into the grass. Just the corner of the brush, push in. The more you go down, the more you push in. The more fat little tree shape you leave out there in the night. Bram's got some sweet brushes, you guys. I mean, the Paint with Josh brush, of course. I've got to push that because it's my own. But Bram's brush, I use Bram's brushes, I've used Bob's brushes, I've used Bill's brushes, I've used Kevin's brushes, I've used everybody's brushes. And I love them all separately for their own reasons. Come back in here with a little bit more of that bright pink. Pop, 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 pop. Now, the Paint with Josh brushes, of course, are going to be the most fantabulous brushes you've ever had in your life. But there are others out there that we use as well. I like to promote everybody, man. You got a brush kit, send it to me, I'll use it. Come over here and over there. Boom, boom, boom. Real softly, right? Just proves that you don't have to have one single kit or one single color or whatever. You can do whatever you want to do with whatever colors you have or whatever brushes you have. Right? Now, let's go back and highlight that little gorgeous little guy, but we're going to highlight him with the Paint with Josh fan brush. Yeah, baby. Paint with Josh is going to have 2 fan brushes in the kit, you guys. Okay? We're going to come in here. We're going to get a little of that liquid white. We're going to go into our dioxazine purple, the purple-y color over here. Right, we're going to take this purple-y color, and we're going to touch it on which side do you guys think? Because there's no light out there, right? So we can decide right now where we want to have our light come from. Do you want to have the shadows on the left, or do you want to have the shadows on the right? Because in a portal scene with no moons, right? We haven't put a moon in this portal. So where would they go? Right? Should we put them on the left? Should we put them on the right? Let's put them on the left. Right, let's go right, light from the right. So we're coming here, little bits of purple, little tiny taps, right? We don't need much. We just want a small indication that there's a different color other than purple out there, other than that plaque out there on that tree. Right? Then we'll wipe off our old brush, back into our liquid white, go over into the crimson-y color, which is much more pinky purpley. A little pinky action over here, pinky in your grass over there. Over here, I'm going to tap on that pink color, just like that, and then very small little taps. Again, not trying to cover every single piece of every bit of dark. Got a little pink, little purple, and we got a cute little tree out there in the distance, right? Remember, he's supposed to be far away. We're not supposed to be paying so much attention to that little guy out there, so you don't want to add too many details, right? Now, let's come in for a much bigger tree. Up here in the front, we'll wiggle down that Paint with Bram brush, an immensely long handle. Old Paint with Brammy. Down here, wiggling it so it's nice and sharp. And let's put a brush put a tree and a bush right down here. Boom! Right into the foreground, guys. Now, what makes this tree stand out as being closer than all the other, that other tree back there? All the other one trees back there. Right? What makes this guy closer than that one tree off in the distance? Pop it in, mush it out. Paint with Bram's brush, literally very, very similar to mine. Mine's a bit softer, but the bristles split apart exactly like mine do, which I'm going to love. Fantastic, right? What about this tree makes him closer? Why does this tree look closer than our other tree back there? It was chosen by Sauron. Sauron in the night. Right? Anybody know? Just Dude has a picture of Boromir for his profile pic. I like that. It is a gift. It's Boromir saying, it is a gift. Love that guy. It eats its veggies. That's why it's in the foreground, because it's taller and it sits lower. Right? This guy is not as tall, and he doesn't sit as low as this guy does over here. Meaning, this guy's going to be in the foreground. Now, let's go back to our little our Paint with Josh fan brush. Go back into our little purple-y color. Oh, it's gorgeous. A little blue in there, too, just because. Oh, the aquamarine, the ultramarine blue with the dioxazine purple and a few tiny baby taps. Oh, baby. Too big of a tap out there, and you are in trouble. Right? The more we go, the more it wants to darken our brush. But remember, we gotta leave those dark spaces in between, guys. If we don't have dark, we cannot show light, right? Gotta ring the old bell. Everybody watching on Facebook and on YouTube, did you guys know that Dr. Phil, the legit Dr. Phil, was in my live show on TikTok last night watching me paint? Like, not even kidding. I checked. It was the verified account. He had 7.7 million followers over on TikTok. And Dr. Phil hung out with us for 20 plus minutes watching me paint that cattails seascape that we did last night. And I was blown away, legit blown away. Like I couldn't even, I was like, this isn't real, right? It was the real Dr. Phil. Like, not even joking. Look at that. Couple little plops of pink, couple little bits of purple, and you got yourself an old tree in the night. Right? An old tree in the night. A couple little places where it's a bit too bright. Just tap at them again. Softens them down, right? With these little things. Start living out there in our trees. Oh, he's fantastic. Can you believe it, though? The real Dr. Phil. Like, I don't care what you think about the guy, but it was the real him. Like, insane. Insane. So, let's see. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Well, Trish, it's not really an abstract painting when you think about it. It's a landscape painting inside of a double portal scene. Now, let's take these two portals and have them interact together, right? Remember, this one's available if you want to grab it. It's on paintwithjosh.com, number 1623. Let's say we came out here and went, fell over the edge. Right? Launch ourselves over. How much watery goodness do you want to have fall over the edge of your scene? Right? Come out, falling over, falling over, falling over. Over and down and down. Right? Again, how much of that water is going to slide out and fall into our scene, making it a little brighter up onto the top, and that's pretty much it, right? We're going to take a bush and cover the front section of this guy, and then all that water can actually flow down as far as it wants to go. How far is it in your scene? How many times are you pulling down on the guy, letting it get a little bit darker and darker and darker until, kaboom, it hits the bottom, of course. And all this spray and nonsense, right? From one portal overflowing into another, just making another cloud, basically, out of this misty stuff right here is all we do. A bit of a cloud. Get your waterfall falling out, falling over. Now, switch to the Paint with Josh bushy brush. We'll load up on that black texture, just on the top corner. We're going to come up here and pop out an old little bush. It just hangs out over the edge, dangles over our little portal, covering up some of that color. That's why we put that color there, so it gives our bush something to contrast off of. Now, same thing, we have to wash the brush on, get all that dark paint out, and then go back in with some clean paint. Make our highlights, right? So we'll go our top corner, and then our back corner. There we go. See that? So we did one top of the brush, the other side of the brush, that way. And we come over here and go into our shadowy color, our little purpley action. Put a little bit of that blue in there too. Purpley, bluey bits, we'll put them off the back side. Touching on the back, top half of the brush, right? Now I'm going to use the other side of the brush. Come in here. And we'll tap into that pinky color and come off of this side. Dangling down, right? Get yourself a cool little bush out there in the night, you guys. Same brush, two different colors, showing you we didn't even touch the whole brush onto the canvas because there's still a bunch of white there that never got mixed up, right? So, very simple, guys. You can do it too. I'm telling you. I ain't told you once, I've told you a million times. Let's do it again off the other side. Come in, scoop up that darkness. Pop an old bushery out. Let them dangle over the edge. Just hanging out there over the side. Go back, get that darkness off. Back into our purple with that blue. Come off of the purpley bluey side. Again, not trying to cover all the darkness. You don't want to cover it all. You're going to be in trouble. You're done cover it all and you get in trouble. A little bit of our pink. On that top corner, and again, top corner of the brush. Dropping off a couple little bits, right? A couple little things in the night. Dangling down wherever you want them to be, however you want them to be, however you want them to look, right? That's how they're going to look. Very cool. All right, so you guys got to check in. Tell me where you're watching from. What time is it right now where you are in this great, green, beautiful world that we have, guys? You tell me. What time is it over there? Let's see. Into the portals. We got 725 from Louisiana, South Carolina, Vermont, Charlotte, Sacramento, Moose, Saskatchewan, Michigan, New York, Ontario, Chicago, Indiana. Oh, we got Michigan again. Florida, it's 4 a.m. for someone. Good night. Outside. Max watching from my bedroom, did that say? Or is it bedtime? I couldn't tell what he said. All right, let's do this, guys. Let's just start popping in a little bit of brightness in here. Just a little bit. It's got that blue, that pink. And I wonder if we could contain this whole area and have it be like a little lake out there. A little lake in the night. Right? So, now that we know where that is, should we do pinky grass or should we do purpley or bluey grass? What do you think? Pink, blue, or purple grass? Type it into the comments. Max in Josh's room. No! You're not, I'm not there, Mac. You're at the wrong place. You're in the wrong spot, my guy. We got blue, we got purple, we got blue, blue, pink, blue, blue, purple, purple, blue, purple, blue, purple, blue, blue, purple. Bluey, purple, bluey, purple, bluey, purple. Poiple. We got the poiple over here. Right? All right, let's go a little bluey. A little bluey. A little my white. A little purpley. We're going to tap into the bluey purpley. Getting all the colors on here, and then we're going to come down. Let's figure out where our land lives. Come in right beneath him, just tapping in and moving down. Tap, 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 tap. Right underneath. Tap. Each time getting smaller, leaving a little bit of what in between the land and the water. What do we leave in between the land and the water, guys? Because you can't have them come up and touch each other. It sounds fun. It's not going to work. Over here, over there. Little purpley grass. Ooh, baby, I like him. The darkness. Exactly. A little dark separator in there, right? That helps contain everything. Now, let's mix up a whole bunch more of our Paint with Josh plaque. Now, I've done many portals, double portals like this, where we had the waterfall flow in, and you could have a river come this side and then flow back outwards and fall out, right? And keep going and have a little puddle down here on the bottom. We've done many things. Each time we do it, we try to make it a little different, right? So I'm just going to flatten out this paint right here. Make it a little bit more watery, right? Just a little bit of soft lake in the night. Okay. So what are the 3 colors that it takes? You guys hear that rain coming down? Excuse me, Mother Nature, but I would like to do a live show, please. If you could stop at the rain for just like 30 more minutes, it'd be fantastic. Love it. What are those 3 colors that we mix up in order to make Paint with Josh plaque the deepest, the darkest of all deep, dark colors known to exist in mankind's history? The history. Okay, if it's not dark enough back here, then just back underneath. Make our own little dark separator, right? We determine everything about that painting. It's up to us, right? You can even take it and fatten it out a little bit. Come back in with your old 2-incher. Okay, just a little touch. Across. Soft little thing back there, guys. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Okay, now that we got all that darkness, let's go back to our our Paint with Josh round brush. We know we're gonna have a big old tree popping out on this side so they can counteract each other, which means that we gotta do something immense. It's just an immense old bush down here. It's something that hasn't been trimmed in ages, and you can tell. Woo! Just dangle it. Dangle it out the side. It's just rolling, it's growing over the sides of our little portal madness. Now, do you think we've got enough paint left on the brush to finish the rest of the bushes? All the way across? Yes or no? Yes or no answers only, please. Right now, do we have enough paint on the brush and in the pile of paint to finish making these bushes all the way across? Yes or no answers? I'm going to try. Let's come over here. Just a whole big bunch of messery. Ooh, right? They don't have to hang all the way over. They don't have to cover all the darkness. They do. dangle a little bit. Gotta get them danglers out there. The old dangle angle. It's the best. Pink. We got a little small change from the dark into the lighter into the pink. Oh, you can see it. Oh, it's just gorgeous. All right, let's get out here. We're gonna get all the darkness off of our paint Josh mushy brush. Go around with the brush. And again, paint Josh brushes will be out in January, I hear, from the manufacturer. Probably at the very end of January, but nonetheless, January. That's the last update that I was given anyway. So, just to keep you guys up to speed. All right, now let's get down here. What do we need in order to turn this really thick paint into something that's wetter in its consistency so it will then stick to this very thick paint? Right? What do we need? What do we need on our old brushery? Right, anybody out there know? Trying to make you guys give me the answers so I don't forget, right? Mix with paint thinner, you could if you didn't have this liquid white, which is what we use, right? The liquid white not only brightens the dark colors, but it also thins it down and changes its consistency. So it's no longer this crazy dark, heavy blue, thick paint, you know what I mean? It becomes a paint that will come off of the brush with the smallest little touch, right? You gotta have the right amount on there. You gotta use it on the corner. Just wanna have a couple little bits down around the bottom, little bluey shadows. And we're not trying to cover everything. If we cover everything, then guess what? We're gonna have some just flat old bushes because you have to have that darkness in there, right? The darkness is the shadows that we can't see. Right, of course, we'll be able to see some pinky flowers, and then we'll be able to see some bluey bits, and then we'll be able to really reach inside to those dark areas, right? That's where the depth is. That signifies that there's so many bushes, it's so thick, that there is deep spaces where no light can reach, right? And they're out there, guys. They're out there in the night. In the night. Now, again, it's the top half of the old Paint with Josh bushy brush into our crimson-y color so we can keep it a nice limited palette painting. Right? Crimson-y color with the liquid white on the top. And let's get over here. Let's turn our brush. Start launching some stuff downwards, right? Wherever we need them to be. Pop, 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 pop. Little guys. They're not trying to touch everywhere. They're not trying to brighten up every single space, right? We just want them to be there. That's all. Just be there. Just hang out with us and be out here, dangling over the side, right? Little bits of the pink. We don't know where our light is coming from, right? Therefore, how can we choose a light or a darkness? Little bits of pinkery, right? Little things, guys. That's gorgeous. That is fantabulous. My guys and gals and painting pals, right? Because I love this hole in the middle too. I'm gonna leave that right there. Because we want those different areas, right? And all those little places out there have to have those bits of dark and light. Because if you don't, what are you going to have? Just a flat old tree or a bush or whatever you're trying to paint. It's just going to have no depth because you're taking it all away by getting rid of all the darkness. Right? The darkness. This painting hasn't gone yet? Boom, boom, boom. Bingo, bango. I figured somebody would get this one. It's so pretty. Whoa! Right, now let's go put one more big old tree in here, but in order to do that, we need to mix up some of our Paint with Josh plaque mix. Now, for the last time, what are the 3 colors that it takes in order to mix up this Paint with Josh plaque mix? It's the deepest, darkest color you ever done did scenery over here. Alright, we'll even use the old Paint with brand fan brush again. And wiggle it down right through all that big old paint. Turn it into a little weave. I paid for that. Look at that. That looks just fantastic. Alright, let's come in here. Let's make our tree a little bit bigger. Bang! Right down into our bush. Alright, now, this guy is going to contrast off all this brightness, which is, again, why we put it out here. If there's no brightness out on your canvas, it's just too dark, then that tree is never going to stand out against anything, right? We want it to catch your eye and stand out. Again, from the trunk over to the side, pop it down into those little bushies. We're gonna have ourselves a little tree hanging out at the top, right? Again, just the corner into the trunk, and we go out a little bit more, out a little bit more, out a little bit more, until the tree looks how you want it to look, right? Each time you do it, it'll look a little bit differently. It might be a bit bigger. Maybe there's a space where it projects outwards, and you're like, oh no, now it's not like a, like a symmetrical thing. It doesn't have to be symmetrical. It's supposed to be odd and weird, because that's what trees are. They're just like us. They're odd and weird and anxious and, embarrassed and they're all of us. They're out there. They're out there in the night. Okay, let's get a little bit of our bluey. Bluey touch over here. This is the ultramarine blue. It's kind of like a mix between phthalo blue and Prussian blue together, really. Put our blue side off the back. Find the tip of our tree up there. Very light, very small, not trying to touch it. We don't want to touch the canvas in the beginning, right? We only really want to touch it by the time we're down here. We can turn our brush, start launching up little bits, back and forth. Just trying to cover up the middle section, the left to the middle, right? Wherever side your shadows are coming on. But again, we're not covering everything. We're leaving lots of dark spaces in there because that's where your depth lives, right? The closer it is to us, the more little crazy bits we're going to be able to see, you guys. I love a double portal painting so much. Move our liquid white into the crimson, and then mixing it down. Right? We don't want to have any bit of white on our brush showing through if you're just trying to go for pinky highlights. Tapping on, very small, trying to miss, not trying to make them all the same. Right? Very light, little pops, little things, and then we start just kind of Z-shape, back and forth. Right? All the way down. And back in, fill in a few little spaces. Climb up the center part of our little guy. Couple little things. Too much and you're not going to like it, right? Too little and it's just going to look like a silhouette out there. Bang! Woo! That's a tree and a half. My goodness gracious. I like that. That's a cool one, guys. Lots of pink, lots of bluey, lots of purpley. For you pinky, bluey, purpley fans out there. There's a Diamond Art Club kit. It's kind of similar to this, similar coloring. The Airy Fairy Fade actually has the original of. And did you guys know it's sold out again? Waters from Another World is sold out again on diamondartclub.com. So, get your butts over there and tell them you want more kits. More Pink with Josh kits, please. We also have an Aurora Borealis kit on diamondartclub.com that's available. Plus the Sunset River Waterfall one that we have there. And one kind of like this, Waters from Another World. It's out there and ready for us to get. That's a cool thing. Look at that little lake. From the darkness to the bright. Woo! I like it. All right, you guys start coming up with a title for this. You know how the show works. If somebody purchases this one, then, no, I didn't hear from anybody over there. If somebody purchases this one, they get to choose the title, right? You guys get to pick it. So all of you people watching, you need to type in what you would title this painting, right? Into the night. I won't forget my 3 feathered friends, don't you worry. Blushing night. I like that. Look at that purpley grass back there with that water line. It's all dark. Woo! Cosmic forest. That's a cool one. Help me achieve my goal and I'll sing a song. Sing, sing a song. My song about far over the misty mountains cold, through dungeons deep and caverns old, we march forward. Get me started. I'm starting The Hobbit again tonight. Through break of day to find the long going. Don't make me. All right, you guys come up with a title for this one. Old Paint with Josh is done singing for the night. Maybe. Get over here. And you guys always know that if you purchase a painting, your birds for your family get to go into the top portal while mine go fly through here in the bottom portal. So, if you want to be included with Paint with Josh forever in a painting, it could be you and your husband, maybe your 2 kids, maybe another kid out here, like you never know. Right? But if you purchase it, I actually add your family of birds into the painting as well, which people seem to really like. Now, let's go over here. Let's throw the old JK. Let's go down. I've been signing a lot of them down in the bottom left corner, so let's throw this guy over here today. Bank, bank, bank. Whoo, that's a JK if I've ever seen one, man. That's a good looking old painting right there, you guys. But you got to help me title it. So start typing in your title suggestions. If it does get purchased during the live show, that person not only gets to be added to the painting in a form of a bird or bird family, they also get to choose the title of the painting, and we get to have a light party, which would be wicked awesome on this painting, guys. Tell me a light party wouldn't be so cool. Gotta do the light party. But we can only do the light party if the painting goes. That's my rule. It's the worst rule ever, but it is a rule that we have to try to live by. Okay, you guys start coming up with a title. I got 2, maybe 1. Maybe 2. One more brush to clean up, guys. One more old brush. I'm going to be looking for your guys' titles. So type in, what do you want this one to be called? Say you were me and you just painted it, right? You're like, oh, I gotta come up with a title for this now. Right? What's that title gonna be? What's it gonna be? Oh, that's perfect. Pines were roaring on the night. Oh man, I gotta go watch The Hobbit, dude. I love that movie. Almost as much, maybe more, than Lord of the Rings itself. Because, I don't know, they came out later, they're like better with the graphics. It's like origin story, and I love origin stories, you know what I mean? Like of course, we all know and love Bilbo, but we didn't get to see his action until those Hobbit movies, right? I know Cosmic's like, unfollow. Oh, you guys are funny. Thank you, Kathy. Appreciate you. Portals of Futures Past. Where the Water Falls. I like that. Portal Winter Dreams. Cosmic with the face. Transcending Trees. That's what Bilbo Baggins hates. He hates the dull knives and the blunt, or the dull spoons or whatever. Oh, man. Thank you. I appreciate that. So it looks like a fantasy comic. Waterfall Gardens. Morning Portal, says Brian over here on YouTube. Magenta Woods, says Rita. Blurple Portals. That's because it's bluey purpley. I feel you. I feel you. I feel you. Blunt the knives, bend the forks. Oh, man. They do know how to put dishes away, though, those dwarves, I'm telling you. They can put away some dishes. And they do it in a fun way. It keeps everybody entertained. All right, so, you guys. I was hoping this one would go, but it is what it is, I guess. Forest from Another Galaxy. Thanks, Sheila Ann. Appreciate you. Wow. All right, guys. Well, let's end the tutorial then over on YouTube and over on Facebook. You guys have been amazing. I can't wait to see your versions of this beautiful painting. Actually, before we do that, let's take one little bit of some stars out here in the sky. Right? come out here and just flick a couple, bink, just into the deep darkness of space beyond these two portals. It might end up looking like snowfall even if you got some inside of your portals. Look at that. Oh, just a little dusting of stars like we're out there in the galaxy. Just the thank you, my singing voice. If I was a baritone. I've got a voice. I mean, my voice ranges. I got some range in there. Okay, guys. That was the last little bit. So everybody over on Facebook and YouTube, I love you guys. I can't wait to see your versions of this painting. So please send them in to Instagram.com/paintwithjoshk or Facebook.com/officialpaintwithjosh. And until I see you guys again next time, take care. Best of a good day and boom, guys. What a show. My goodness gracious. There we go.